क्या कर रहे हो? मैं
गन कौन सी करनी?
गन चेंज करने के लिए।
गलत मैप लगा है फिर से।
नहीं भाई बराबर है। कौन था ये? दोनों घात लगा के मेरे को ही देख रहे हैं ना भाई। क्योंकि वो पीछे बैठा था ना।
ये इधर से ऊपर नीचे भी ना होता है। ये आगे
अरे गांडू रुक जा।
हाँ, रुक क्या जा भाई।
पीछे से कौन मारा मेरे को? ये हरामी, तुम लोग मिलके खेल रहे हो क्या?
नहीं भाई
मेरे को तेरा
हाँ, कि मैं कौन को मार रहा था।
हाँ तू तेरा स्क्रीन दिख रहा है ना मेरे को, सुगंध नहीं दिख रहा स्क्रीन।
अबे वो भाग गया पीछे से, विजय को मारने वाला था। भाग गया भाई।
मार उसको, मार मार। ये कैसे क्या उड़ गए? मुझे एक बात बता।
भाई सो के मार रहा था भाई।
किधर है? जरा लेट हो गया।
2 हेड मारा मैंने बस।
बाबूजी हील कर रहा है।
मरा क्या कोई?
नहीं भाई वो मर नहीं रहा है। अब मर गया।
हाँ।
डीप डिफेंडर हेलो। आ तो बाजू में आके कर भाई। अरे जायरस को गांड मार देता है मेरी, पता नहीं क्यों।
अरे भाई रुक रहा पीजीसी को घुमा रहा था।
ये रुकना है। अरे
अरे तेरे को क्यों नहीं लगता वो नीचे होता है क्या तू?
नहीं भाई लेफ्ट राइट।
तो तेरे को है क्यों लगता? लगता है।
ये उड़ के क्यों आ गया यहाँ पे?
थोड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग बना रहा हूँ भाई गेम को। तुम लोग घर पे बैठ के गांड मारा रहे हो अपने अपने।
कैसे तू ट्रांसफॉर्म गायब कैसे हुआ जगह से? अरे मेरे को बता दे भाई, मैं रुका है।
अभी उठने के लिए भाई मेरा वो दूर है यार वो बटन।
मुझे भी इंटरेस्टिंग बनाना है गेम। गायब कैसे हुआ तू?
अरे हाथ में तेरे 2 गन है देख।
हाँ तो
उसके ऊपर एक वो वाटर वाला गन है और एक स्पाइडर वाला वेब है।
ओके ओके आई सी। कोई तो आया भाई इधर। कोई सांस लेने का भी टाइम नहीं है।
ओ भाई मैं बोला कौन है इधर। अटक गया था वो उधर।
मित्तला मारते ना फुग्यात।
मैं भी बुगिया में मार रहा था।
मेरे को मारा था पहले।
इतना फ्लिंच किया ना बीजी अभी। 1 एचपी बचाने का वो भी मुश्किल से।
मैं नहीं खेल रहा तेरे साथ, बाय बाय। ये ले फुग्यात मार। वो तेरे को दिख नहीं रहा है या तुझे मारना ही नहीं है उसको?
नहीं दिख नहीं रहा।
दिख रहा है।
नहीं तेरे से नहीं बात कर रहा मैं, सनी गॉड को
मेरे
बोल
को
रहा हूँ।
बोल रहा हूँ।
दोनों नहीं दिख रहा।
क्योंकि मुझे
बीजी
थोड़ा
ने
थोड़ा
तो
गुस्सा
सोया
आने
हुआ है
लग
भाई।
गया।
बीजी ने सोया भाई मेरे को मालूम है पक्का। है कि नहीं बीजी से?
नहीं मैं ट्रांसपोर्ट हो गया। कुछ नया देख रहा था, गांडू बीच में आ गया। आजा।
ओ आजा बोलता भाई। ले
फिर
ट्रेड।
से
तुम लोग
ट्रेड
एक दूसरे
क्या
के लिए
ट्रेड
खेल रहे हो
क्या
क्या भाई?
फिर से गुब्बारा
इधर है।
दिखा दे भाई तेरा तेरा दिखा दे भाई
बीजीजी का कोपरा दिख
मर मर
ओ,
उसमें
कौन भैया फायदा उठाना चाह रहे हैं?
ओए मेरे घर पे वो आ रहा है ये देख किधर है
अरे बस घूम के बैठा था भाई। आई एम एक्सप्लोरिंग। किधर किधर जगह है।
अरे खुले में किधर जा रहा?
ऑलमोस्ट रे।
बस भाई देख पकड़े हो ऑलमोस्ट बने।
फिर से
नहीं अभी 75% है। ओ,
हेलमेट फूट गया भाई। वीजीटी कहाँ निकल रहा भाई लेकिन। आ गया। अरे कैसे नहीं मारा भाई। तू ही था ना ये।
बीजीसी नहीं दिख रहा ना ब्रो किधर है?
इजी गायब है भाई। तो बोल भी नहीं रहा कुछ गांडू। क्या अकेले क्या है? जीतने का नहीं है तेरे को गेम।
नहीं मैं स्पेक्टेट कर रहा हूँ तुम दोनों की बकचोदी मजा आ रहा है मेरे को
ढूंढते हैं इसको चल।
ए गांडू ये गलत बात है भाई
गांडू पीछे बैठा है जाके भाई।
ओ ओ मर मर मर
गोली छोड़ा नहीं देना भाई।
मर मर
अरे
मर मर मर
मार
अरे
नहीं
हो गया ना ढूंढ लिया ना
क्या
उसको।
अरे क्या अरे
ढूंढ लिया अरे नेड क्यों नहीं है भाई इसमें? इतने बार फोड़ता था ना विजीजी को।
ए टकला फुटा तू मार रहा है इधर कोई तो उतरा
किसको मार रहा है विजी? एक हेड लगा बस।
तेरे को क्या लगता है तेरे को गोली
नहीं सोन को भी आती है
नीचे उतरो देख।
फंस गया भाई वो गुब्बार फंस गया
अरे दूसरा भी तो है स्पाइडरमैन वाला वेब।
वो भी है क्या ओके अरे रुक तो जा भाई वो कितना दूर जाता देखने
अबे गोली किधर लगनी समझ नहीं
जाने दे बोलता है।
बॉट हूँ ना मैं नहीं तू बॉट
भाई हिल गया ना मेरा स्क्रीन पूरा।
अरे यार
रे आखिरी गोली लग गई
कितने बार मारेगा भाई बीजीसी? बीजीसी मरते जा रहा है भाई।
अबे गांडू लोग तुम लोग मेरे को टारगेट कर रहे हो तो क्या ही होगा
तुम लोग अरे टारगेट नहीं कर रहे हो मेरे को सुवन तो
तू ओपन में दिख रहा है भाई।
हाँ तो हिलेगे नहीं तो कैंप करोगे हरामियों
अच्छा
क्या
हिलेंगे
घंटा
नहीं, मैं तो पूरा ऊपर हिल रहा हूँ भाई। ये देखना भाई पूरा स्क्रीन ही हिल गया मेरा। स्कोप खोला तो स्क्रीन ही हिल गया पूरा।
यार वो रिकॉर्ड
और स्पाइडर इतना दूर तक जाता नहीं है
नहीं स्पाइडर नहीं जाता है।
वो जाता ही नहीं है भाई
अरे बिल्डिंग चाहिए रे उसके लिए
बच क्या बोलता है बेचारा 2 जन से खाया हो।
अरे खत्म हो गया
मुझे लगता है मेरी वजह से जीतने वाला है जो भी जीतेगा बैठो
अबे
उधर ही
अंदर
गांडू लोग अबे हिल तू हिल फिर उसका कुबड़ा नहीं दिखता होगा तेरे सामने आएगा क्या तेरे को हिलना पड़ेगा ना एक क्या चूतिया
अबे
भाई
खत्म हो गया भाई इसी ड्रॉप।
मैं 2 राउंड है कितना बड़ा लगा।
दूसरा गन कौन सा? गन चेंज होना चाहिए भाई। अरे मजा आ गई। छी, मजा आता फिर अभी gun change होता था। पहला चांस मिल गया ना वीजीसी को। आ जाओ ऊपर।
पहला चांस मिल
अबे
गया
क्या
मतलब?
है ये?
देखो राइट में मारना। अरे
सोन इसको लेते
अभी ठीक है। ठीक है।
रहे। गांडू हिलने लाया जगह से।
लेते बोलते।
हम दोनों जा रहे हैं, उधर ये भूसड़ी का बाहर नहीं आ रहा। अरे ये, ये क्या है? इसको बैकस्टैबिंग बोलते हैं अंग्रेजी में।
अंग्रेजी में?
वो देखो मैं पे एम करके बैठा है। ले भाई
कौन?
ले
मैं?
वो
अरे मैं
नहीं
उसको
नहीं,
देख रहा हूँ।
डीप डिफेंडर मेरे पे एम करके बैठा है, उसको ले भाई।
किधर लाया तेरे को?
तुझे क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है? अब तेरे को देख रहा हो।
क्या हो रहा है ये?
हेलो डीप डिफेंडर।
हाय।
क्या गिल रहा है भाई तू?
ओ
भी मार दिया मतलब क्या?
सोन भी मार दिया, ये भी मार दिया।
मेरे पे क्या है? तू क्या कर रहा है इधर?
तेरे को क्या लगा मेरे को मालूम नहीं पड़ेगा?
अरे तुझसे भाग ही नहीं रहा था भाई मैं।
तू सांप बन के कैसे आ रहा फिर?
अरे वो लोडू सामने से मार देता है टकला।
ओ ऐसा क्या?
देख
सांप बन के जा रहा ना भाई। अरे भाई मस्त ये। सांप बन के जा रहा है।
अरे पागल है क्या भाई तू?
सांप बन के आ रहा ना भाई। ऊपर तक आया भाई।
मर गया क्यों?
क्यों रे?
तुम दोनों को लेने का।
तू किधर देख रहा था? अभी आया ना बरार खेलने के लिए वीजीसी। फिर सांप बन के आएगा देख रहा अभी।
बाबूजी
सांप
उस
बन के
तरफ
आया
चले
देख
गए
रहा
भाई।
दिख रहा बंदूक तेरा जी मेरे को
क्या बात कर रहे हो?
इधर
आगे ये क्या ग्लिच
तू
है?
भी दिख रहा
ही ही ही। चांस नहीं देता है।
ओ भाई
पीछे
तू
कब
इधर
उतरे?
कब आया? इधर कब आया?
अरे चेंज करने का टाइम ही नहीं दिया। ये कौन मार रहा है मुझे?
सांस नहीं लिया था रे मैंने अभी तक।
बीजेपी किधर नहीं जा रहा है
इधर आ गया भाई।
मार मार मर गया क्या? या लेट गया वो?
नहीं ले गया
आप भाई
देख जवान
मेरे को तो अच्छे से मारता है।
हाँ क्योंकि तू उसको मौका देता है ना मारने का
अरे ऊपर है क्या?
तू ऊपर क्या कर रहा था? पड़ी देख पड़ी
नहीं।
तेरे को देख रहा था फिर मर
वो अपनी करना पड़ेगा
आई की एंट्री भाई।
बड़ी देखे जा रहा हूँ
ओ भाई
इतने खुले में किधर
मैं विजय को देख रहा था पीछे क्या हुआ?
डीप डिफेंडर कहाँ गया?
जाना लगा।
किस पे? उसको मार क्यों नहीं रहा है?
तू है किधर? ढूंढ ही रहा हूँ मैं।
अरे मेरे को नहीं बोला, मैं उसको बोल रहा मैं।
दिख नहीं रहा मेरे को।
अरे होगा तो संप्रदाय था। निशाना लगा क्यों? है ना भाई? फिर से तुम आ गया गांडू।
हेड कैसे लग गया इधर?
ये उधर जाता भी तू मारता, इधर जाता तू मारता।
इधर कौन है? जगह क्यों नहीं ले रहा? इसको हम दोनों दिख रहे हैं भाई, इसलिए सोन का जगह सही है।
तेरे को भी तो।
नहीं नहीं, मुझे उसका थोबड़ा दिखता है।
अच्छा तू इधर ही बैठा है क्या? अच्छा ठीक है फिर।
अब आए।
मेरे को तो मजा आता है हंसने में। अरे कौन? बिना टकले दिखाएगा। अरे मजाक था वो। मेरे को इसका जगह बहुत अच्छा लगा।
कौन सा?
हाँ भाई, इतना दूर क्यों कूद गया पता नहीं। अरे
किसको ढूंढ रहा था तू?
पता नहीं, नॉट यू।
ओहो
एक को तो मारा।
हेड कहाँ दिख गया मेरे को भाई? हेड नहीं था उधर। तो रास्ते
गैंग
के
बैंग
पीछे
हो गया।
खड़ा हो गया था। रास्ते के पीछे जबरा बन गया भाई। बीच में कहाँ कर रहे हो तुम?
देख रहा था वहाँ कुछ है क्या। दे। ऊपर क्या कर रहा है? तुम दोनों ही मेरे घर पे क्या कर रहे हो? और दोनों एक दूसरे को मार क्यों नहीं रहे हो?
वो दिख ही नहीं रहा मेरे को तुम दोनों।
बार फिर से हो रही।
मेरे को मार देगा कोई, कोई मन नहीं है bro।
क्या बोल रहे? क्या पर?
जरा सा दो ज्यादा ही करेगा।
ऊपर कौन?
एकदम खोले हुए हो, मैं तो कोई मार नहीं रहा।
अरे
ए भाई इसको जाने दिया तू?
देखा ही नहीं।
अरे
स्ट्रैटेजी बनाना।
गुड जॉब, गुड जॉब।
पिक दे जरा।
मैं नहीं दे रहा। दे दिया। अरे
दे दिया।
नाइन्टी एट। अरे यार
मैं बस 2 बार का और बच रहा हूँ, तो 2 बार और मारता मैं खत्म। एक गोली में, आधे गोली में ही खत्म।
आधी गोली नहीं जाती।
ये भाई स्क्रीन की माँ की आँख।
अभी भी 2 ही गोली है, आधी गोली का ही बचा है। 2 पॉइंट।
सीढ़ी आ गई भाई बीच में मेरी।
मर गया क्या वो?
दिख रहा है मेरे को तू भाई विजीसी।
पता है ना।
तो भी मुंडी निकाल के खड़ा है भाई। सिर्फ 2 हेड की जरूरत है तेरे को, समझा?
मुझे ये देख, ये भी मुझे देख रहा है, वो भी मुझे देख रहा है।
मेरे को तू ही दिखा अभी सिर्फ, उसका दिखा ही नहीं सर। किधर भाग रहा पीछे? मैं नहीं कर रहा,
मैं जा रहा
हूँ पीछे।
मैं जा रहा गेम छोड़ के।
पीछे की काम आ जाती है इसमें बबल फोड़ने में। झुक के किधर
ताकि दिखे ना सर।
अरे यार फिर
ड्रॉ क्या होता है?
मेरा 5%, 2-3% ही बचा। आधे घंटे चल जाएगी।
वो तो ज्यादा चला लिया भाई, घर पे बैठे बैठे गाना वाला था।
कोई पीक ही नहीं दे रहा, तेरा तो कुछ ही नहीं दिख रहा था मेरे को। मैं कुछ नहीं।
है ना सनी गॉड, तो दिखाई क्यों नहीं रहे उसको सर?
एक हेलमेट दिख गया जरा सा, वजह से को प्रॉपर्ली कैरेक्टर मेंटेन करना
मतलब कैरेक्टर मतलब
मतलब उसकी मूवमेंट कंट्रोल करना, उसमें तेरे को लग रहा है उसका ही जाने का सुनना आगे।
क्या?
गन पावर अच्छा है थोड़ा,
गन
मतलब एम रहेगा।
कॉमेडी। चलो
saying it was no big deal and that he should be the one thankful, considering that Theo came all the way to meet him. Then, as Theo was about to talk about the deal he mentioned earlier, Seojun suddenly asks him for 0.5 tower coins. Confused, Theo asks for clarification, and Seojun playfully replies with a smile, stating that he should pay for the roasted fish he just ate. Theo, panicked and saying it was no big deal and that he should be the one thankful, considering that Theo came all the way to meet him. Then, as Theo was about to talk about the deal he mentioned earlier, Seojun suddenly asks him for 0.5 tower coins. Confused, Theo asks for clarification, and Seojun playfully replies with a smile, stating that he should pay for the roasted fish he just ate. Theo, panicked and in shock, asks Seo Jun if the fish was not for free. Seo Jun responds that nothing in this world is ever free, and since Theo came to make a deal, he shouldn't expect to eat the customer's fish and run away. Theo becomes nervous as he notices the black rabbit and the poison honeybee ready with their weapons, while even the farming rabbits stand prepared to confront Theo if he tries to leave without paying. With tears in his eyes, Theo reluctantly pays 0.5 tower coins to Seo Jun, and Seo Jun thanks him. Then we see the cat depressed, kneeling beside
No ads, no ads, no
Seo Jun, and Seo Jun is happy as he finally earns some tower coins. Then we see the cat crying and thinking that he came to earn money from Seo Jun as a customer, but ended up paying him instead, and his business has already started at a loss. However, he regains control of his emotions and becomes determined not to be defeated. He decides that he will sell all his items here. Theo loudly declares that it's his turn now and requests that Seo Jun examine his items. He opens the cloth bag and unfurls it to display the luxury items he has. With pride, Theo showcases the 3 items on the cloth, each with its price displayed on an information window. The first item is a tumbler worth 5 tower coins, followed by a mini fan also worth 5 tower coins, and lastly, a portable hand warmer of the same value. Seeing the items, Seo Jun asks if these items are from outside the tower, and the cat proudly declares that they are. Theo starts describing the items, saying that the tumbler has preservation magic which can maintain the temperature of the things kept inside, whether hot or cold. He then highlights the mini fan's wind magic enchantment, demonstrating how it gives cold wind by pressing the buttons. Seo Jun stares at Theo in disbelief and apologizes for interrupting him, but he feels compelled to tell him the truth about the items he is selling. Seo Jun explains that all the items Theo brought are actually trash. Upon hearing this, Theo became very angry. He shouted at Seo Jun and asked him what he was talking about. He insisted that these items were from outside the tower, and how could someone not recognize their value? He expressed how much effort it took him to collect these items. Seo Jun calmly explained to Theo that he is also someone who is from outside the tower, and the terrible truth dawned upon Theo as he realized he had been scammed. Seo Jun patiently explained that there is no magic in the items Theo was trying to sell. The tumbler simply prevents heat transfer by blocking contact with the outside, and the portable fan and hand warmer operate on batteries. If they are used for only a few hours, their batteries will run out. Seo Jun pressed the buttons on the fan, demonstrating its lack of power, leaving Theo feeling even more disheartened. Theo, now angry and frustrated, accused Seo Jun of lying. He insisted that the person who sold these items to him claimed they had magic inside. However, the fan was about to stop as the battery had run out, and Seo Jun pointed out this fact to Theo. Frustrated, Theo started hitting the fan in an attempt to get it working again, but Seo Jun reassured him that he had indeed been scammed by the person he purchased the items from. Theo sank into a more depressed state, unable to believe that someone could be so unkind to him. Then Theo started crying loudly, saying that Scarum was a bad goblin, and began beating the floor in frustration. Seo Jun felt bad for Theo and tried to comfort him, urging him to share what happened in the background. The sad cat merchant began his story. He explained that he was from the 75th floor of the tower, which was one of the tower's neutral zones. For a long time, he had been in love with a cat named Meryl, who was the most beautiful girl in their Grainer village. Finally, one day, he gathered the courage to propose to her in front of everyone. As the villagers cheered him on, Theo expressed his feelings to Meryl and asked her to date him. He even presented her with a bouquet of fish, something he thought she would appreciate. However, Meryl showed no interest and displayed her disgust at the modest bouquet Theo had offered her. She slapped it away, saying that the smell of cheap rice fish disgusted her. This hurt Theo deeply, as he had worked hard to get those roasted rice fish. But then another shock awaited him. Then someone stepped forward and told Theo to know his place, questioning how dare he try to win Meryl over. As Theo turned back, he saw Oren, the son of the richest cat in the village. Oren was well dressed and carried a big, beautiful fish as a gift. Oren laughed at Theo, mocking him for giving a low-grade rice fish to a lady. He suggested that Theo should have brought at least a high-quality salmon as a gift, and with that, Oren presented the salmon to Meryl. Meryl appeared happy upon seeing it. A flustered Theo stammered, trying to explain that Meryl didn't even like greasy food because she was afraid of gaining weight. However, Meryl spoke for herself and expressed that the fish was indeed beautiful. Shocked and heartbroken, Theo heard those words. Oren had his arm around Meryl and was taking her to his home to enjoy the salmon properly, and she seemed content to go with him. Theo desperately pleaded with Meryl to wait, grabbing her arm to stop her. From his perspective, it felt like a scene from a heartbreaking story. He saw himself as the protagonist, the poor but handsome cat, while the woman he loved was being swept away by a rich suitor. Theo poured out his heart, reminiscing about the moments they shared and the memories they made together. However, Meryl coldly dismissed his feelings, telling him not to get ahead of himself. She claimed that she had only smiled at him out of politeness, and that he had imagined a deeper connection. She cruelly stated that she despised poor cats who smelled like cheap rice fish the most, pointing directly at Theo. Devastated and speechless, Theo's world crumbled around him, sinking into a pit of despair. Meryl was taken away by Oren, the son of the richest cat in the town, and Theo ran away crying. He made the decision to leave his village and become a traveling merchant. Determined to become rich one day and seek revenge, he vowed to rise above his circumstances. As Theo finished telling Seo-jun and the rabbits the first part of his story, they felt nervous and sorry for him. Seo-jun especially felt guilty for scamming Theo. Theo explained that he had gone through the necessary procedures and spent his lifelong savings of 50 tower coins to obtain his traveling merchant license and other important documents. He had planned to use the remaining 5 tower coins to buy something from the peddler to resell. However, that was when he got scammed by Scarum. Theo recalled how Scarum, a goblin, approached him and asked if he was a new wandering merchant. Scarum told Theo his name and offered to provide him with information. Naively believing Scarum, Theo engaged in a conversation with him at the inn. Scarum talked about items from outside the tower, claiming they were precious and could fetch a high profit on the upper floors where creatures collected such things as a hobby. Theo wondered why Scarum was selling these valuable items at a low price, and Scarum replied that it was a goodwill gesture from a senior merchant training a junior. Convinced, Theo quickly bought the items, hoping to resell them at a higher price. Scarum even gave Theo a bonus, a piece of paper with a map indicating the location of a new user of the seed store. Scarum told Theo that he could potentially make a great profit from this new member. However, Theo soon realized that even that information was not a true bonus. He regretfully handed over all his remaining money to Scarum and purchased the items. With high expectations, he embarked on his journey while starving himself along the way, hoping to make a significant profit. But his hopes were dashed, and he barely ended up here. As Theo tells this to Sejan, he feels quite sad and starts rolling on the floor, crying. He laments that all the items turned out to be trash, and that the customer took his remaining money by tricking him with fish. He cries, expressing his frustration at not being good at anything. Sejan initially thinks that Theo is quite a pushover, but then he gets an idea. He remembers something that could help him earn tower coins. Sejan smiles and tells Theo to calm down, offering to share some roasted fish to cheer him up. However, Theo, having learned from his previous experience, suspects that Seo-jun will ask him to pay for the fish later. He refuses, stating that he's not foolish enough to fall for the same trick twice. Sejan assures him that he genuinely wants to give it to him for free, even considering the 5 fish Theo ate earlier as just a treat. Theo looks at Seo-jun with hopeful eyes, asking if he truly means it. But Seo-jun makes it clear that this act of kindness is not without conditions. He asks Theo if he would be willing to work with him in exchange. Seo-jun smiles and asks Theo for his thoughts. In that moment, Seo-jun adds one more chapter to his diary about getting lost in the tower. He met a partner today who was a bit of a pushover. Then we see Seo-jun asking Theo if he would like to work with him. Seo-jun believes that Theo will agree because he thinks Theo is just a pushover. Theo is shocked and asks Seo-jun if he really meant what he said. Did he genuinely want them to work together? Seo-jun confirms his intentions, expressing that he wants a good merchant to sell his items. However, Theo doesn't believe Seo-jun. With drooping ears, he considers himself a noob who is completely useless. But Seo-jun tells Theo that despite making mistakes, he still possesses some qualities of a decent merchant. Seo-jun smugly smiles and explains that Theo touched his heart with his story, which is why he wants to become business partners with him. Surprised, Theo awaits further details about the business partner deal. But before Seo-jun explains, he signals to the rabbits to show their hospitality to the merchant. The husband and wife rabbit pair create chairs from onion leaves and set up an umbrella, creating a beach-like atmosphere. They even wear garlands made from tomato flowers. Seo-jun, sipping from a bottle made of onion leaves, enjoys the moment. The rabbits fan them, providing a relaxing experience. Seo-jun then reiterates what Theo told him about his desperate situation, taking a deal from a shady merchant and being scammed. He explains that Theo doesn't have any money to buy goods to resell. Seo-jun excitedly proposes a business partnership, suggesting a win-win situation for both of them. Seo-jun offers to provide Theo with his products, which Theo can sell to other people. In return, Seo-jun would receive a percentage based on the amount Theo sells. Theo asks about the incentive, and Seo-jun explains that Theo would need to sell the goods above the marked price. The more Theo sells them for, the better the incentive would be. Seo-jun believes in Theo's ability to sell the items for a higher price and offers him a 35% incentive on the selling price. Meanwhile, the Black Rabbit tries to roast a fish. Theo is appalled by the offer, thinking the 35% incentive is too low. He believes the conditions are unfavorable for him. He angrily sips from his glass, thinking that Seo-jun took him for a fool. He refuses to be deceived. But before Theo can express his decision, Seo-jun has another important thing to tell him, the most crucial part. Seo-jun asks the rabbits to bring something, and we see them returning with a bunch of delicious roasted fish. Seo-jun reveals that there is not only a reward, but he will also pay Theo 10 fish or their equivalent value in coins every week. Theo is absolutely amazed by this offer. Seo-jun explains that these are all the terms and conditions of the contract. Theo's mouth starts watering as he asks Seo-jun if he was serious about the roasted fish. Seo-jun then asks if Theo wants to sign the contract right away. However, Theo is not easily convinced. He remembers the past incidents when he was betrayed by others like Meryl and Scarum. He knows he has to be clever to avoid being deceived again. But the temptation of the fish is hard to resist. Theo wipes the drool off his face and says he will consider it if Seo-jun offers him 20 fish per week instead. Seo-jun, with a mischievous grin on his face, remarks that Theo is quite persuasive. He tells Theo that he is feeling generous and, in addition to accepting his request, will add 5 more fish. Theo is shocked to see a stack of 25 grilled fish right in front of him and can't help but continue drooling. Then, Seo-jun adds another bonus to the contract. Theo can eat as much fish as he wants while he's working with Seo-jun. Seo-jun reiterates the terms one more time, and Theo can hardly believe his ears. He is filled with excitement, completely forgetting about any past doubts or concerns. Seo-jun asks if Theo has a piece of paper, and Theo quickly produces one. Seo-jun takes the paper, writes down the terms of the contract, and signs it as Party A. Theo places his paw on the paper, representing Party B. Seo-jun announces that the contract is now complete. Theo realizes that he was so thrilled that he didn't even realize he had signed the contract. He is astonished as the contract floats up into the air and disappears. The contract has been finalized and accepted by the tower as an agreement. An information window appeared, displaying all the details of the contract. The contract states that it is a lifetime distribution agreement starting immediately. Theo will be responsible for selling Seo-jun's products for the rest of his life and bringing back the profits. The compensation remains as mentioned earlier, 25 grilled fish per week, or their equivalent value in coins, along with an additional 3.5% of the sales as an incentive. The contract also includes some special clauses. As part of the initial deal, Seo-jun will provide Theo with his crops to sell. The contract will be terminated if the sales amount falls below 5 tower coins in 1 month. Theo is expected to sell the crops at a price above the marked price. He is also prohibited from making any additional contracts without Seo-jun's permission. Lastly, Theo must speak with a cat's accent while selling the items, adding a touch of uniqueness to the arrangement. Seo-jun was delighted to have the contract signed, recognizing its importance as one of the most significant documents in the tower, not easily destroyed. On the other hand, Theo felt devastated, questioning why he had agreed to such conditions in his first contract. Curiosity got the better of Theo, and he asked Seo-jun about the 4th condition in the special clauses, particularly the one about speaking with a cat accent. He found it embarrassing to use the accent from his village. Seo-jun chuckled and assured him that he would understand the reason when the time came. Seo-jun extended his hand for a handshake, but Theo slapped it away, still expressing his doubts. However, Seo-jun reminded him of the 1st condition in the special clauses, which stated that the contract would be terminated if the sales fell short. Seo-jun patted Theo's head, having faith in him as a reliable and resourceful merchant cat. Hearing himself being called resourceful brought a smile to Theo's face, and Seo-jun thought he was quite straightforward. Curiosity piqued, Theo inquired about the products they would be selling. Seo-jun confidently revealed that they would be selling cherry tomatoes. Theo looked puzzled, but Seo-jun handed him a freshly picked cherry tomato. To Theo's surprise, it turned out to be a magical cherry tomato that could temporarily increase MP, magic power, by 0.1 for 10 minutes. Theo asks Seo-jun about the selling price for the cherry tomatoes, curious to know how much they plan to sell them for. Theo thinks that if he's lucky, he might be able to get 0.01 tower coins per tomato from the new people entering the tower. However, Seo-jun replies that they want to sell them for 0.05 tower coins per piece. Theo is shocked to hear the price, believing that only an idiot would buy them at such a high cost. But then Theo realizes that the high price might actually work in his favor. If he fails to sell enough tomatoes to earn 5 tower coins in 1 month, his contract would be terminated. Additionally, he could enjoy grilled fish during that time. Curious about his initial sales trip, Theo asks Seo-jun how many tomatoes he should take with him. Seo-jun suggests taking 1,000 tomatoes. Seo-jun has already prepared a basket containing the 1,000 tomatoes and even arranged for the payment of 25 grilled fish. However, Seo-jun wonders how Theo plans to carry all of it. Theo reveals his special item called the Bundle, a cloth with space expansion magic, preservation magic, and the ability to make things lightweight. He explains that he can store all the items in his bundle, keeping them in their original state for extended periods of time. Theo throws the cloth over the tomatoes and fish, and with a touch of magic, they are stored inside the cloth, transforming it into a small pouch. Seo-jun exclaims how convenient it is. As Theo gets ready to leave, he assures Seo-jun that he will return. Seo-jun and his friends wave goodbye to Theo as he departs, wishing him the best of luck on his sales journey. A few days later, Theo arrived on the 38th floor of the tower, where an intense battle was taking place. A group of awakened individuals were locked in combat with a gigantic spider monster. The spider screeched loudly as the fighters strategized, determined to defeat it and prevent its escape. The spider launched its attacks at the hunters, but their leader skillfully blocked its assault with a sturdy shield. On the sidelines, the magicians cast fireball spells, diverting the spider's attention. Seizing the opportunity, their leader delivered a decisive strike, swiftly beheading the spider with a powerful blow. This leader was Kim Dong-shik, the esteemed leader of the Phoenix Guild. His team erupted in cheers, expressing their confidence in his ability to finish the battle with a single strike. However, Kim Dong-shik humbly downplayed the praise, urging everyone to remain focused on the aftermath. It was time to clean up the area and take care of the necessary tasks following the battle. He notices a woman named Jessica and sternly reminds her not to slack off, emphasizing that he won't tolerate any attempts to run away like she did last time. However, Jessica responds by playfully flirting with Dong-shik, expressing her affection for him. Dong-shik ponders how to handle the situation with Jessica, but his attention is suddenly captured by movement in the nearby bushes. Reacting swiftly, he switches into battle mode, drawing his sword and demanding to know who is lurking there. To his surprise, it turns out to be Theo emerging from the bushes. Theo confidently approaches the group and offers to showcase his merchandise. Dong-shik and his team are taken aback by the sight of a cat functioning as a traveling merchant. As Theo greets them, some of the members comment on his cuteness, leaving Theo astonished. One of them even admires his adorable paws. Seo-jun had told Theo that using the accent from his village would help attract human attention, and now Theo realizes that it indeed worked. He takes out the cherry tomatoes from his bag and presents them as his offering. However, the humans seem underwhelmed by the sight of the cherry tomatoes. They express their disappointment, stating that if Theo intended to sell food in the midst of a battle, he should have brought something more substantial like meat or bread. Cherry tomatoes simply weren't satisfying enough to eat during such intense circumstances. Observing their skepticism, Theo couldn't help but mutter, "Foolish humans. I knew they would say that." He firmly believed that the magic of the cherry tomato surpassed their expectations. He suggested they check the status window for confirmation, recalling that a girl with pink hair had done so so earlier. According to her findings, consuming just 10 g of the cherry tomato would result in permanent fat reduction. Upon hearing this revelation, a wave of fervor swept through the group, and they immediately rushed towards Theo, eager to purchase the coveted cherry tomatoes. Meanwhile, back at the cave, Seo-jun continues to harvest more tomatoes. He has just leveled up, earning a bonus stat. The wife rabbit accompanies him, and he asks her if Theo is doing well at the moment. Seo-jun speculates that the cat must have already encountered some hunters by now. At first glance, the magical cherry tomatoes seem to primarily boost magical power. However, upon closer examination, it became evident that they offered an even greater benefit. Consuming a tomato would dissolve 10 grams of fat and rejuvenate the body. Seo-jun realizes that these tomatoes are the perfect diet food, without any apparent side effects. He firmly believes that they will sell a significant amount, as he trusts that people are in need of effective diet solutions. Theo, on the other hand, is astonished to see that he has managed to sell all the cherry tomatoes. He is unsure how to react to this overwhelming success. Seo-jun stares at the sprouted carrot seedlings, lost in thought. He inquires, was it about 70%? And the husband rabbit standing beside him seems to agree that out of the 1,000 carrot seeds Seo-jun had purchased from the seed store and subsequently planted, only 700 had germinated. However, he starts pondering the possible reasons for the observed germination limitation. He wonders if the cause could be his low proficiency level as a farmer, or perhaps the fertility of the cave land was insufficient. Despite these considerations, Seo-jun decides to persevere with his current methods, optimistic about the prospect of finding a more effective cultivation strategy later. With Theo now on their side, ready to sell the harvest, he recognizes the importance of maximizing crop yield. The husband rabbit seems to be in agreement with him. Suddenly, Seo-jun's attention is diverted. He turns back to identify the source of the disturbance. He observes the black warrior rabbit tossing a torch up into the air by the lake. As the torch nears the water's surface, piranhas leap out. The black rabbit was anticipating this, springing towards the fish and striking each one with his hammer. Safely landing on his 2 feet, he catches the falling torch. Everyone watches in awe as he skillfully hunts. Seo-jun compliments the black rabbit, stating he's improved significantly in his hunting skills. Noticing the rabbit's body gleaming, Seo-jun realizes the black rabbit is leveling up. He congratulates him, expressing this was the first time he has witnessed such an event. While he had frequently observed the white farming rabbits level up during farming, seeing a black rabbit do so was a rare occurrence. He pats the rabbit's head and reassures him he is gradually becoming a true hunter. The rabbit, pleased with himself, flaunts his achievement before his clapping siblings. As the rabbits play, Seo-jun suggests they take a short break. During this intermission, he proposes they drink coffee. Seo-jun, clutching the tumbler he had received from Theo, appears delighted. Upon opening it, his suspicions about the presence of coffee inside are confirmed. Stuffed inside the tumbler are multiple sachets of coffee, much to Seo-jun's delight. He believes that Theo and Scarum, the goblin who scammed him, had omitted something very important. They hadn't opened the tumbler. If Theo had known and tried to sell the coffee to him, Seo-jun admits he would have spent all his money just to acquire it. Tearing open a packet, Seo-jun can't help but thank them for their oversight. Because of their ignorance, he's acquired a valuable item for free. Seo-jun empties the coffee powder into his water bottle. Even though they lack the tools to boil water or make ice cubes, he comments that simply having coffee in this place is a luxury. While he can't make regular coffee or iced Americano, at least he has coffee. Seo-jun then convinces the poison honeybee to spit some honey into the water bottle, thanking her. After a bit of mixing, he finally creates his coffee. Seo-jun christens this concoction as Honey Americano, a blend of coffee powder dissolved in the cave's cool water and mixed with the poison honeybee's thick honey. He praises it as a perfect harmony of bitter and sweet tastes. According to Seo-jun, a single sip of this drink can alleviate fatigue and hunger. Upon taking a hearty sip, he finds it to be quite delicious. He then offers the coffee to his rabbit companions. The black rabbit is the first to try it, but is immediately overwhelmed by the bitterness and too stunned to react. The other rabbits, curious about the taste, also find the drink too bitter for their liking. Seo-jun just laughs as the rabbits spit out the coffee, suggesting that their tongues might be more sensitive to bitter tastes than humans.